I'm working with Jessie on heel and walking with a loose leash. One of the mistakes a lot of people make is to just go outside on a walk and they hope that their dog's not going to pull on leash. Or they'll try to get him to heel outside, but they're so distracted by everything around them they won't do it. So you're better off actually perfecting it indoors. Walk around your house, in a big room like this. So you practice it and really ingrain it in her brain. Then you can take it out into your driveway, but no further than that. Just the driveway, going in circles, kind of practicing outside so that she gets really good at it, even with distraction. Then start going down the street. There's so many sights and sounds and smells and everything outside that they're easily distracted and forget what it is they're supposed to do. But also, dogs don't generalize well. They just because they do it in one space doesn't mean they're going to do the same thing in another space. So if I'm working upstairs with her on something, she might do it perfectly, but then as soon as I come down here, she's like in another world. So take that into consideration. Again, we want to set her up for success. So you want to make it as easy as possible at first and really get her good at it. So heel basically means come to my side. If a dog is going too far forward and that leash gets tight, you say heel and they come to your side and they're basically realigning with you so that they're right there with you and in sync with you, which is what walking on a loose leash and at a heel is all about. It's basically synchronizing the dog to the person so that the dog understands the person is walking them, not the other way around. Big mistake a lot of people make, they let the dog walk them. Which is tough. We all do it. Partially, we want to get our walk in. We want to get it done. And we don't really want to take the time to first teach the dog how to do it. So I'm working with Jessie today to get her familiar with what it means to heel. So heel, you're going to start off with her looking at you. And you're going to take a treat to her nose and lure her back. Come here. Up, 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 up. You guys stand up for it. Come on, come on. And you're coming around. You're leaning back on the foot on the side that she's going to heel to. Come here. You're coming around. You're bringing her around in a circle. Sit. Nope. Come here. Heel. Come here. Look. Heel. Right there. We want her to sit. Yes, good girl. Now, you notice when she sits, she kind of does this. That's because dogs are used to looking at you when you tell them to sit. She's not used to being at your side sitting. So don't worry about refining that. She'll get it eventually, but also the further back you come with her, the more likely she's going to line up correctly. Good girl. She just automatically sat that time. You want eventually for her to just sit, and you don't even have to say sit. As soon as you stop, she sits. So if you're on a walk and you see somebody you know and you stop to talk to them, if you stop, she sits. She doesn't go jumping on them and getting all excited and overreactive. Good girl. So again, I'll do it from the side so you can see a little better. Come here. Heel. Come on. You have to move. Come here. Get her energy up. Come on, girl. Ready? Come here. Heel. Around. Right here. Sit. Yes. And again, don't worry about it. She did adjust forward, but she'll get it eventually. The more she does it, the better she'll get. And you can be particular about it and really get her there, but just get the concept first so she understands that she's supposed to be coming around. Now, how does that translate then on a walk? So if you're walking along, come on, girl, and she pulls ahead, then you say heel, and you actually can take a couple steps back. And then look, she's realigned with me. Good girl. Come here. Over here. You always want to come to the same side. Good girl. Now that doesn't mean she can't switch sides, but come here. For consistency, when she's first learning, yes, you want to try to keep her on one side or the other. That also prevents them from crossing in front of you or in back of you and practically tripping you. So we want to encourage her to stay on one side. The other hint, don't give too much leash. I hold one hand with the handle, the other one's kind of down here almost steering. But when I have a treat in my hand, I'm holding it with that hand, heel, and then we keep walking. Good girl. And then if we stop, what do? Yes, good girl. She figured that one out, and she lined up much better that time too. Come here, baby. Jessie, go. Come on, girl. Ready? Heel. Sometimes I'll just wait and see if they do it. You sit. Sit. Yes. She didn't do it that time, but you know, sometimes they just offer it on their own. Eventually you won't have to say sit. She'll just automatically do it. So the other part of leash walking is that she has to be able to feel what it's like to have it tight versus loose. And it's much more appealing to a dog to actually have it loose rather than strangling them. So it baffles me why they pull forward, but I guess they just a lot of times don't realize it. They're in a hurry and we walk too slow. So to encourage a dog to kind of learn how that feels, come here, girl. Let's go. Come on. Come on. You want to walk around your house. And I use my finger and I point. Here. Come here. Over here. Yes. Frequently rewarding. Yes. You want her following you. Yes. And keeping that leash nice and loose. Yes. Again, marking it with the yes. Or a clicker if you want to use a clicker. Yes. Good girl. Constantly reinforcing. Stay with me. Come here. Come here. Stay with me. And don't pull on the leash. Nice and loose. Good girl. Changing directions frequently. Here. Go. Come on. Look. Yes. Good girl. And use that look command while you're practicing to keep her focused. She heard her dog upstairs. Look. Yes. Good girl. Come on. Look. Yes. Lots of treats at first until she gets really good at it. Come here. This way. I always warn my dogs when I'm going to change direction. Over here. Good girl. This way. Good girl. Look. Yes. Every time they look at you, you'll feel that loose leash. If they're pulling ahead like that, look. To look, she has to come back. And it loosens it up. So you can use that out on your walks. Come here. That's a girl. Come here. This way. Come on. And again, the whole idea is I want to synchronize her to me. Good girl. This way. Come on. Yes. Good job. You'll find that as you do this and it gets ingrained in her and you keep teaching her to look at you frequently, that she'll start automatically looking at you. Quiet. Automatically looking at you to check in with you, even if you don't ask. Because she'll be like, oh, what's going on? Do I need to do anything different? Am I good? Everything's fine. But it does take a little while to get to that point where she'll automatically do that. Right, girl? But you did very well. That was a good lesson. Good job. And maybe tomorrow we can go out on the street and do it. Good job. So practice in the house, and then take it outside with distraction. Good job.